Yes mate, how's it going, and welcome back to the channel about all things football and all things Manchester City. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look into two big signings that Man City have just pretty much, as near as makes no difference, made for Ferran Torres of 25 million euros and Nathan Ake for 45 million euros. Before we do get into it, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a thing. And last time out, when I did do a transfer news video, I was discussing about Ferran Torres and what he could bring to the club, what he's about, his skills, his techniques, his playing style. But today we're going to be taking a look at, is he really a good replacement? Is he a doable and a suitable replacement for Leroy Sane? Of course, he has been made as pretty much the #1 target to replace Leroy Sane ever since he was linked with Bayern Munich and made that done deal to Bayern Munich. And hopefully with this signing he can actually go ahead and be almost as good as him. I've been watching a fair few videos as well just to see how Torres compares to Leroy Sane. Both of them playing styles pretty much similar. They both got good pace, both can be a bit of an aerial threat every now and then. Ferran Torres, he's probably got a little bit more flair, that little bit more, I was about to say a little bit more pace. He's not quite as quick as Leroy Sane, but he is very decent. He is fairly decent. And for 25 million euros, I've seen somewhere it's add-ons as well of 10 million euros, which works out at, well, 35 million euros. I think, I don't know what the conversion rate is for that. Is that like 30 odd million pounds? So sort of like Mohamed Salah money, well, just a little bit less than that. It seems like a very, very good deal. Such a good price as well. We're pretty much signing him on the back of one season for Valencia. And actually, let's go ahead and have a look at his stats. I did mention this in my previous video, but we'll just go over it again. 44 games. He's only been involved in 14 goals. Don't know why it took me so long to work that one out. But on the back of those statistics, to come into a big club like Man City is a little bit, like I said, running a tiny bit of a risk. But then again, those stats, it's a very good start. Like I've mentioned before, it is a very good start. Let's just compare it though, first and foremost, to Leroy Sane, because this is something I never did on my previous transfer video, which there'll be a link to somewhere, wherever the card is. But Leroy Sane, in his debut season for Schalke, which was the 2014-15 season, 13 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist, and Champions League, 1 goal, 1 game, 1 goal rather. So overall, that's about 14 games he did play for the starting lineup for Schalke. So there's not really too much to go on there. So we'll just skip ahead to Leroy Sane's 15-16 season, where he really did start to show his brace, show his colours, and how good he actually is as a player. 42 games, 9 goals, 7 assists in all competitions. So sort of similar numbers really, comparing him to Ferran Torres. So like I said, their turn of pace, their skill, their technique, their eye for a cross, their eye for goal, it's pretty much fairly similar. I mean, Ferran Torres, he's lacking that little bit of more of pace, burst of pace to just tear teams apart. I mean, he is very quick, but not, like I said, Leroy Sane quick, but he can definitely be a very good replacement for him. So for 25 million euros, I feel as though that's a fairly decent player, and good figure really for a player just like him. So like I said, I did talk about him previously in my other transfer news video, but today we're going to be taking a look at Nathan Ake. His name has been booming over all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all sorts of football fan accounts like City Extra, Sky Sports, Football Daily. Everyone has just been saying Man City have signed Nathan Ake for 41 million euros, 45 million euros. It's just such a huge signing that's been taking taking headlines by storm, as I did mention. So for 45 million euros, works out rough. I think it's something like high 30, low 40 million pound marker, which seems, it's a huge amount for a player who's just been relegated with a team like Bournemouth. Arguably though, he is their best player, he is their leader, he is their captain. But with this 40 odd million pound, euro, whatever it is, price tag, we're getting a player with huge experience of playing a top level football. He's been on loan at Watford. He has played for Chelsea, not too often. Almost like a Kevin De Bruyne or Salah or Lukaku sort of thing. But for 40 odd million, it's, like I said, it does seem like a bit of a huge figure for a player, like I said, who's just been relegated. Sort of similar with Jordan Pickford, 35 million pound at Sunderland sold him to when they got relegated. A huge fee, and he's been okay at Everton. But for Nathan Ake, let's just compare him to our defensive issues right here, right now. Needless to say, they have been woeful, absolutely awful. Well, not absolutely awful. I mean, it's not been like relegation form, but it's not been quite what it was like for the past 2 seasons, and Edison has had to put in a good shift, and he has indeed, getting Golden Glove. But for Nathan Ake, going back to him, so in this season he's had a total of 30 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists, 1 appearance in the FA Cup, and 29 appearances in the Premier League, with those 2 achieving those 2 goals and 2 assists. And just comparing him to, like I said, to our defenders right here, right now, Nicholas Otamendi. When he first came into Man City for his first season or so, he wasn't half that bad really. But this season for Otamendi, 38 games, 3 goals in all competitions, 2 of those goals in the Premier League, 1 of those in the Carabao Cup. So for me, quite personally, I would like to see the signing of Ake as a replacement for Nicholas Otamendi. Not really a replacement for John Stones, even though John Stones has been linked heavily with moves to Arsenal in particular, and Chelsea recently as well. There's been a few pundits on Sky Sports who say that Chelsea should arguably go ahead and sign Stones. I'd like us to keep Stones. I feel as though Stones, he has been a bit of a gangly-legged player, not very much coordinated with his feet, but honestly, he's just one of those players. He needs game time to boost up his confidence, because there is a good player in John Stones. I personally see that there is. There's probably a couple of Man City fans probably feel the same. But Otamendi, he's just been on a slight decline, and to be honest, with him being replaced by Nathan Ake, I feel as though it would be a very good idea. What Pep Guardiola's intentions is for Otamendi and for Nathan Ake, whether or not Ake will be a replacement for Otamendi, whether or not it's fine, he sees him as a replacement for Vincent Kompany. We don't actually know. We don't actually know what Pep is really thinking of, whether it is a replacement or just to have more and more defenders to try and just fix up our defensive issues. Going back to that, comparing him to Otamendi, Otamendi has been linked heavily with a move to Real Betis with his former manager who did sign him for Man City in Manuel Pellegrini. But Nathan Ake, for me, I feel as though it would be something which, like him alongside Laporte, he can learn so much from Laporte. Seeing them 2 in defence as well is just, well, I feel as though it can be fairly solid. There is a bit of me which sort of thinks, what if this is like a Mangala sort of issue, where we signed big money for Eliakim Mangala from Porto after the back of one good season, and it just didn't really cut the mustard. He won some silverware, but he just wasn't really the highest quality of a player he was at Porto. But like I've mentioned, and many people have mentioned before, Ake he's had that experience at top flight, and to have him alongside Laporte would be very good. Ake alongside Garcia, it would sort of be good in league games, but not really in like the Premier League. Ake is very good in the air. He has a really good jump on him, really good reach. He's also quick as well. He's got a really good turn of pace, and he's also versatile. According to Transfer Market, he has the ability to play in defensive mid, centre back, left back. He did play when he did first come into Bournemouth, he was playing as a makeshift left back and centre back, which I feel as though is something which could definitely fix our defensive issues in that way. The versatility of him is fairly impressive, particularly with our left back problems. Zinchenko, he's not the toughest. Benjamin Mendy, his footwork is not really that great, to be honest. Cancelo can do a shift at left back, but for me, Nathan Ake would be a fantastic signing. Both of these signings, I'm pretty sure, are near enough complete. It's just a case of just personal agreements, like contracts and how much they want weekly, and just trying to meet up with them, which I'm pretty sure Man City won't have a problem in doing so. But that's where I'm going to wrap it up. It's just a little quick sort of look at both of these players, and also let me know your thoughts as well if you do end up watching this, like I said. But thanks for watching. Until whenever it will be, probably another transfer video when these players are signed or whenever. I'll see you lot in a bizzle.